Hi there YouTube, XtremeTrainz here. As you probably guessed from the thumbnail, this review, which is going to be the new Diesel 10 for 2019, fully painted. And what we're going to do in this review is do a comparison with the one that's still on my shelf from nearly 2 years ago now, the unpainted version. So what are we waiting for? Let's do it. Standard packaging. This is a standard buy we've had for a while. Yep, cool. It's just meet the menace and he's smiling. But anyway, cool. That's all we need to look at from the packaging. Let's get to the actual toy. All right, so this is Diesel 10, the man himself, or the Dieselizer himself, I should say. We'll take a quick look at him, and you can just see that how much difference it makes when you've got that full paint going on. And it really does, I think, make so much difference. I think the best way to show this is going to be by a comparison. So let's start with the side on. You can just see how much more coherent and better he looks with being fully painted. Even having the grill pieces filled in, not having these weird gaps that were along here and around these railings, having that all filled in looks really good. Obviously having the undercarriage painted makes a lot more sense for him. Coming to the top, having these, the detailing is the same. It's just been kind of inverted, which I think looks also really good. You can see here that the pinchy on my painted one is a little bit, off center for some reason. Let's see if I can, no. He's just, obviously the mechanism has been inserted a bit sideways, so he's never going to be straight. You can see again the paint there, and let's just take a look at, so for example, if we look at this, it's just kind of like a, kind of silvery paint on here. You can't really tell. This one, you can see you get a really nice kind of gradiented silver paint, which I think looks great. And I think the place where it makes the most amount of difference, let's just get Pinchy out of the way here. Oh, that's weird. We'll talk about that in a second. This is where you get so much difference. The face is the same, but this one, the crooked and leaning this way, and this one crooked leaning the other way. Wild. You can just see it makes so much of a difference when you look at the front profile of these engines, and you can just see the paint, you can see the actual black painting for the window shields, which should be there, versus this weird outline thing. So much better. In terms of Pinchy's performance, if you want to say that, I can. Yep, so he sticks forward, doesn't really stick anywhere else, and he sticks all the way back, but as you can see, he's been mounted a little bit off center, so he doesn't quite stay. His forward position is like not quite forward. This one I believe is the same. You can hear it makes a much more audible click than this one. You can see it doesn't really make any sound at all. So it's interesting. I don't know. That's one of those things I'm like, I don't know why they would have changed that. Another interesting thing to note is, although the bottom is the same, there's no pins in Diesel 10. Unlike, for example, the new Thomases and a lot of the other engines I've looked at, which have the pins, we've got no pins in Diesel 10. So it makes even less sense. If they didn't change the design, why did they change the mechanism for a Thomas mystery? Yeah, so you can see both engines in this picture here, and I think, to me, there's just really no competition. As much as I kind of, talked about, the aesthetic of the exposed wood's kind of interesting, it's kind of cool, they're the ones that I've got on my display shelf, and I haven't rebought a lot of these engines in the painted ones. I haven't rebought Percy or James in the painted ones just because I don't really need to. But yeah, Diesel 10 is a marked improvement, which means now when we talk about value, I think that, I looked, again, if you've just watched my video about the Chinese Dragon, I said it was $9.58, $9.28. I paid $9.28 on Amazon with free shipping for this engine, and I think for $9.28, yes, that's actually good value for a toy. You get a fully wood toy, fully painted, you get a movable Diesel 10 claw. Again, I don't think it's a bad looking Diesel 10 either. It's obviously got all the same problems we've already talked about from Thomas Wood, which is it's smaller, not articulated, not as detailed, but for what it is, and also I think for $10, when you have to remember that the old Diesel 10s, were charging for a kind of medium-sized engine. I can't even remember how they priced him, but I think he was about $20, $18 to $20. When you're talking about you're paying almost half of what you were paying for the old one, I actually think this is good value, and I think this is a nice, fun Diesel 10 toy. I'm not, if we could get a grumpy face, that would be great. But I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. So that's my thoughts on the painted one, the painted wood Diesel 10. What are your thoughts? I'd love to know your thoughts. As I said, hopefully this video should not be marked for kids because, it is not designed for kids and there aren't many kids who, or really any as far as I'm aware, that watch my channel. At least that's what YouTube statistics tell me, that there aren't any. Let me know, because I really would love to know if you think that at the discounted price that I paid for it, which was about $9-10 Australian, if you think this is finally starting to be something that's valuable. Yes, is it as good as Thomas Wooden Railway? No. But for what it is and how much you're paying for it, is this something which is valuable? And that's something I'd really love to know, and I think is really quite, the difference is quite extreme when you do these kind of comparisons. So yeah, that's that. As always, do those cool things on YouTube, and that's all we've got time for. This is XtremeTrainz.